Hello, it's Alpita. I know I'm on a couple minutes early. Hold on one second. Let me just put this in the comments. That way we're ready to start. Oops. Okay. All right. Let's put that in the comments. Let's delete this. Yes, delete that. Okay. So, welcome to the Transformational Tuesday Transmission. I love alliteration. I'm Alpita, if you don't know me. And we're gonna do a little life coaching today before we pull cards, okay? And by we, I mean me. Let me just move this pillow. So, like we keep hearing all this stuff about, okay, we had the regular New Year, right? And then we had the Chinese New Year. And then last week we went into the astrological New Year. And if you're like me, you kind of feel like you're in this game of double dutch. You're kind of like rocking back and forth. Even today with this live, it was just like, it was like 12:20 my time. And like, I'm like, okay, I just want to get started. I just want to get started. I don't want to say over, I don't want to say I want to get it over with, because I do like doing these lives, and saying that I just want to get it over with feels like, like I don't want to be here. That's not true. It's just like, I just want to get it done, right? I just want to move forward. And you'll find that that is kind of the energy that we're in. Okay, we're in Aries season. We want to move forward. Sometimes we're moving, we're doing the things that we believe, that we intuitively know that I don't want to say should, because I don't really like that word, but that feel aligned to be doing. And sometimes the results aren't showing up yet. Okay, and I get it, and I hear you. Like, that's real. The struggle is real when you're putting in the work and things are not moving as fast as you want them to. So one of the things I'm going to share with you is what I do when I get into this place. One, I get very antsy, and I feel like the things that I should be doing, I don't want to be doing, like cleaning the house and things like that. The things that I want to do in my business, I am doing. I'm moving forward on those. I'm getting results. Money's coming in. People are scheduling sessions. People are buying tarot bags. Speaking of which, I'll be posting some more this week, but like, oh my God, so yummy. Oh, like this was a custom order and I had some fabric left. So definitely, if anybody wants one of these are special. I have some plaid. This sold out like crazy last time. And I'm also going to be doing some more sewing. We've got some cat prints here. We've got some sugar skulls, more cats. These are two different prints. Oh, they're upside down. They're upside down. These are very this one's very obviously Andy Warhol. If you know who Andy Warhol is. If you don't, no worries. This was kind of like, little Pollock, Jackson Pollock there. There's another cat print here. This is cats with hats. That's literally the name of the print. And then we've got this one. All right. So there's some of that. There's some other stuff here. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that. I'm going to be making some jewelry today. So there are days where, like yesterday, okay? So yesterday I woke up and I was just tired. I had a headache, little bit of a brewing headache. Just kind of felt tired. And part of it was that last Wednesday or Thursday, I was up till like 4 a.m. reading a book. And I know this. I was up till 2 last night reading a book as well. And when I get started with a book, it's hard to stop. And it's very easy to be like, oh, one more chapter. And then before you know it, it's like 2 a.m, right? And so I actually took a 4-hour nap yesterday. And this is very rare for me, even though like my ideal life is living in Greece and taking nice long naps in the middle of the afternoon. But yesterday I just felt like I was just this raw nerve, this just cranky bitch. And I just was like, I'm not nothing's going to get done today. And I know this about myself. And there are people that are like, show must go on, shit needs to get done, dishes need to be done, laundry needs to be done, blah, 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 work needs to be done. And I'm like, you know what? I am so like useless when I haven't gotten enough sleep and I'm cranky. And sometimes those are two separate things, right? And this is part of the messy middle, okay? We've had all this energy of like last year was such a year of like literally shedding with the wooden snake. And this year we're like, okay, I'm done with the shedding. I'm ready to get on with my life. I'm ready for the next chapter, right? I'm ready to live my life. And we're doing the things and things are showing up. I invite you, if you feel like nothing is moving forward, I want you to look at the little things that are showing up. Okay. I had 2 tarot readings last week that were referrals. So I did my posts, I send out texts and DMs, and they did not come from that. And so, of course, I start this week and I'm like, should I even bother? It's like my clients for the past 2 weeks have come from referrals. But it's like, this is where we like are so tempted to stop what we're doing, claim it's not working, and burn everything down. Okay? But the people, well, one of the people that referred clients to me came from a DM that I send out every Tuesday. The DM is different every Tuesday, but it's always Transformational Tuesday. And this is what's going on. This is the energy of the week. And this is what I'm available for as far as like tarot readings, etc. Speaking of which, I do also do mediumship. I forgot to put that in today's post and in today's messages, but I also do mediumship. Okay. I'm also a certified life coach and feng shui practitioner. You might have caught my feng shui Friday. I do that every Friday. And I'm also a business consultant. I actually like to consider myself an intuitive business strategist. Okay. So it's really looking at the patterns in your business that are showing up and what can we do to shift them. So it would have been very easy for me to just plow through the day yesterday and just keep just dragging my feet and just do the things. But I was just like, I know this isn't productive for me. I know that if I actually let myself sleep, which is what I really need to do. And also, as I think about my happily ever after, my dream life, I'm like, what are the things I want to be doing? Who do I want to be being? And I definitely don't want to be this person who pushes themselves to show up and do shit when she doesn't feel like it. So if there's ever a Tuesday that I don't show up, which I will post something, it's because my energy is not there. You don't want your doctor showing up to surgery with COVID. And I know it's not the same, but it kind of feels the same. Okay? So I want you to really think about where you are right now in your life. And one of the things that I do is notice how I'm already doing it. When I start to be like, how am I going to do this? Or where is this going to come from? Or what, where is the next client going to come from or whatever? I'm like, I'm already doing it. I'm already doing it. Okay? All right. Number 2 is a distraction, a hobby. Okay. One of the things, here, I'm going to show you. Give me a second as I climb over my bed. And I found this journal a couple weeks ago. Not sure where it came from, but it's actually eco-friendly and wood-free. Oh, I didn't even know that. This is this is special handmade paper. It's actually recycled cotton fabric. Okay. And one of the things I discovered during the pandemic was neurographic art. So I'm not going to go like huge into it, but neurographic art is a way for you to kind of like contemplate a problem on paper, but you're not doing formulas and stuff like that. And the type of neurographic art that I like is taking a word that kind of may be stuck in my head. It could be a positive or negative word. And you draw it in cursive. Yes, cursive. Okay, this is the word lazy. I don't know if you can see it, but here's the L. Here's the L, A, Z, Y, right? And then you add other lines You want all your lines to go to the end of the paper, so there's no like dangling lines. And then what you do is you round your corners. So anywhere there's like two lines intersect, you want to kind of round those, right? And then what I used was watercolors, just a regular tin of, whatever those things are called, pan of watercolors. They're not dollar store, they're from Michael's, so they're like $5, right? And I use watercolor. Hold on, let me just show you. Ugh, this is not where I thought the conversation was going, so I'm not prepared. Okay, so these are the watercolors. Don't mind me, the top is messy. This was like $5, no freaking lie. And I don't know what the brand is. It doesn't say, but, right? Like, actually, $5 for this, right? At Michael's. It's like they're, like, I want to say it's their generic brand, but that's not true. And then I got these from Amazon many years ago. They're from Gen Crafts. And basically what you do is you push here, and then water comes out. Don't mind this brush. I put it in wrong. Right? And then you just, water comes out, and then so you don't need some, nasty cup of water that you accidentally go to drink. They're, like, driving me crazy. I actually need to wash these because I didn't. And sometimes I use one color, and sometimes I use multiple colors, right? So this is the word lazy. And then on the back, I put the date and then the word. Not that I ever come to these, right? Here we have the word happy. You might be able to see the two P's here. I'm just going to show you a couple. Lucky. This was done on St. Patty's Day. Here's another one this is actually don't spill the tea, because I actually spilled the tea, like literally spilled my tea the day before. So you can do like all kinds of stuff. And then, where's the Zentangle one? I did a Zentangle. So this is so this is kind of my version of a Zentangle. I've been watching some videos here on Facebook, right? So I try to do one every day. And this is really amazing paper. I honestly do not know where I got this from. I think it was a gift. Anyway, it's from Windrose Trading. But it's amazing paper because it doesn't curl with the watercolors, right? I mean, just a tiny bit, but and it doesn't bleed through with the markers, or this one's a marker one. And it does absorb ink like mad. So anyway, so that's one way that I will distract myself when my thoughts are like, burn it all down, start all over again, do something different, I'm bored, we need something new, right? Another thing is I move things around in my home, right? I do a little bit of feng shui. I'm like, okay, what can we, now, if it's not broken, we don't fix it, right? But I will move some stuff around. I'll do some cleaning, right? Not normal, like, dishes and laundry kind of cleaning, but more of like later today, I'm taking down the Christmas tree. Yes, it's been up with the fucking Connecticut winters and all these 18-inch snows. I can't get to the shed. So what's the point of taking down the tree and keeping it in a box or bag when I can't get it into the shed? So I'm going to take that down today. And my 13-year-old is going out to the mailbox to get some more fabric that is coming. So more cat fabric, more tarot bags. I'm going to be making some witch hats and some altar cloths and various things depending upon the fabric. So I'll have him put that in the shed for me. So these are a couple ways of doing that, of getting out of your own way. Because what happens is we don't trust the process. We don't, Mike Dooley talks about, like, you're halfway to California and it doesn't look like California yet. You don't see any palm trees, so you turn around and head home. That's kind of the feeling this week. It's like, yeah, where is this fucking crazy fire horse? Why are things not moving? But they are. They are. I want you, so one is noticing what is already working and moving, even if it's not to the level that you're at, slow, steady progress, right? Sometimes we're going 20 miles an hour because that's the speed limit or there's traffic, right? It doesn't mean that it's not progress. Two, distract yourself doing some neurographic art. You can go on YouTube and check it out. There's tons of videos. There's different ways to do it. I like using words. Sometimes I just do like a bunch of scribbles. You could also color your paper and then put the lines in. That's great. I also love, of course I don't have that, these metallic markers. You can't kind of sort of see it, but this is a metallic marker and they're amazing, especially when you're coloring. You can go over the black lines of a coloring book and most of the colors will go over and you won't see the black lines. Okay, so you can outline your own things. So so when I say distraction, I do allow myself a certain amount of time, like let's say it's 9:30 and I put my kids to bed at 10, and there's like nothing I can do in that half an hour that won't like go over. Like if I start a book, I know I'll get sucked into the book, and then before I know it, it's 11:30 and they're still up and running amok. So I will scroll. I try to set timers because that really helps. That way I, very mindful of my time. So I'm not opposed to scrolling, right? But when you do it mindfully and you give yourself, moderation, a time limit, and maybe time limit isn't, the most positive language, but you'd be like, okay, this is my scrolling time. Like, give yourself a scrolling time. If you find that this is something, like, I definitely don't believe in shaming yourself into better behavior or changing habits. I believe in being patient with yourself and being compassionate and not saying, oh, well, I just need to stop fucking doing that. That's weak. That's lack of discipline. That's bullshit. Okay? There's a reason why we go into these habits, whether they serve us or not, and being kind and compassionate and just noticing, like, why am I doing it? Okay? I know for me, sometimes in the morning when I don't want to meditate because I don't want to examine my thoughts and what's going on in there, I'll go and scroll. And, it's not the most positive thing, but it's like noticing where that's coming from. And it's like, okay, I'm going to scroll for 20 minutes and then I'm going to go do my meditation. Okay? And sometimes meditation, for me, it's just like literally sitting in the silence. And it does not have to be long. It does not have to be hours. It can be 5 minutes, right? And then the third thing, so first is, where are you already doing it? Where are things already working out? Even if it's just 1% progress. 2 is a distraction, a hobby, something that is not work related or whatever, right? Like, it's not, the point is not to be productive. The point is to kind of just have fun and flow and enjoy yourself. So if you knit for a living, don't go do some knitting. Unless you're like playing with a fabric or like playing with a new yarn, maybe that might be. But, obviously it's your life. You can do whatever you want. But I do highly recommend picking something that is not part of your business, right? If you're an entrepreneur. And then number 3, moving some furniture around. Putting some things away, like decluttering. That is huge. And when I talk about feng shui, that's the first thing, that's the first place we go to. Is there clutter? Are there broken items? Are there things that need to be donated? Are there things that don't have a home? Find a home for them. Okay? A place for everything and everything in this place. And it does not mean that your house has to be like the cover of Better Homes and Gardens. It just means that sometimes we get anxious because the clutter is keeping our mind active. Okay? It's an endless to-do list. I have a whole bunch of things that are like one-time things, like repair things. And sometimes this is what I do. So when I feel like anxious and I want to like burn everything down and start from scratch and whatever, like a Britney Spears moment of like shaving your head and just changing your name and leaving the country, which might not be a bad thing nowadays. I'm not trying to make light of what's going on in the world. I'm just saying, like, we all handle things differently. I will go and do some decluttering. I will go and look at one of those items on the list and be like, okay, what do I actually have the mental, emotional bandwidth for, and the physical capacity? Because that's another thing. Yesterday, I did not have anything. I was literally like 3% battery on all levels, and it just wasn't conducive to doing anything. So I took a freaking nap. I literally lay down like right before 1, and I got out of bed at like around 5:30. And then it took me like another hour to get going and make dinner. Okay? And that's very rare for me unless I'm like actually physically sick. But I just needed it. And I have been trying since that one day that I stayed up till 4 in the morning reading a book to catch up on sleep, but it wasn't happening. Okay? And part of it was just like because I feel guilty taking a nap during the day. That's my own shit that I need to work through. Okay. So those are the 3 ways that you can kind of shift your energy, actually do something, but not destroy your business, not tear everything down that you've rebuilt, right? And the other thing that I find is that last year this time, literally last year this time, my ex was here, and I was constantly in this loop of like, where's the money, Lebowski? His last name's not Lebowski, but if you get the movie reference, you get the movie reference, right? Every week, this is what, like, how the fuck am I going to pay the bills when he wasn't giving me money, right? There's Miss Mischief in the background. I got the window open since it's kind of sort of nice weather today. And when you've been in a situation like that, in a toxic relationship, in a toxic situation, in a toxic loop, what is she doing? Hey! She just stole a baggie full of paper clips. Alright. That's your normal. And I know it's not normal, but that's like when there isn't drama, you're bored. You're like, this isn't normal. Like, you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. And so that's something definitely to talk to a therapist, to talk to a counselor, but also sometimes to just breathe. Just breathe. Okay? If we expect the other shoe to drop, guess what? We're going to create that. Self-fulfilling prophecy, law of attraction, whatever you want to call it. Okay? But when you're like, yeah, this is what I wanted. I wanted peace. I wanted quiet. I wanted my life to be slightly boring. I didn't want to have drama every time, every week about money. I didn't want to have drama about, like, just all sorts of dumb shit. I wanted to have a normal life, right? I didn't want to have to worry about these things. And a lot of times we do. Our nervous system gets stuck in that. It's familiar. It feels safe, even though it's not. But we're stuck in that. And then when you're healing and you're starting to get out of that fight, flight, freeze, fawn, calm feels unsafe. Calm feels, peace feels threatening. You get bored and you're looking to stir up shit. So I invite you to just, if that's showing up in your world right now, to take a breath, to use one of my three strategies that I have shared with you, which is 1, I'm already doing it. Things are already working out. Everything is already on its way. I'm already whatever, right? 2, a distraction, a hobby, something fun. Go binge watch something on Netflix, read a book, whatever. Just shift your energy. Go do something that's actually, for you, self-care, self-pleasure, right? And 3 is do some sort of decluttering or something that like has been on your to-do list for a long time that you're just like, obviously making sure you have the mental, emotional bandwidth and the physical capacity to do it, right? Your battery is not at 3%. And if all else fails, go take a nap. Go take a nap. Humans are not made to go 18 hours. We are not. You know, this is one of the downfalls of electricity, right? Because now we have electricity, we can go 24/7, that, you know, we do, right? Like if we were, you know, back in the whatever 1700s, 1600s, reading a book all night would not have been a thing because candles were pricey, and, you know, like I wouldn't have wasted the wax, right? So we live in this time period where we can go 24 hours. We can do this. We can do that. We can be on every platform. We could be posting 24/7. We could be doing all the things, but do we actually really need to be? Do we actually really need to be? And I see that in myself, because right now the tarot and the jewelry sales and the tarot bag sales and all those things are paying the bills. Yet I'm like, I feel like I need to do more. And it's allowing myself to sit with that feeling and be like, is that real? Is it actually a desire that I want to do more or do something different? Or is it that things have gotten, I don't want to say boring, have gotten too peaceful, that I'm trying to shake things up and create some drama in my life? And what I realized was that after I sat with it for a while, that no, something new wants to be created. So I'm just going to take like a couple minutes before I do the oracle reading of the week and share with you two things that are new in my world. One is a feng shui session. This is called Reclaim and Reset session. It's a 90-minute session on Zoom. You'll send me your floor plan. I'll give you directions. Don't worry about it. And your birth information so I can pull up your Chinese astrology. And this is a session where I'll be looking at your space, most likely your master bedroom. If you're a business owner, we can do your home office if you have a home office. And really looking at how to take best advantage of the energy of the fire horse for you specifically. No generic shit here. We're gonna look at I'm gonna look at your floor plan. I'm gonna look at your Chinese astrology and what is in alignment for you this year. Okay, what are the tweaks that you can make in your life or in your business to take advantage of the great, amazing visibility and movement and momentum that the year of the fire horse is creating. Okay, so that's $333. I have one available this week. I'm only doing one a week because I definitely want to spend time, and because there's quite a bit of prep work that comes with those for me. There's a little bit of prep work for you, but there's prep work on my part because I have to go look up your Chinese astrology. I have to look at your blueprint and do all the things. Okay, so if you're interested in that, if you'd like one of these reclaim and reset sessions, so it's really looking at one area of your life that you feel like isn't moving fast enough, that you're constantly reinventing the wheel, that you're constantly trying to figure it out, whether it's career, it's business, it's money, relationship, whatever it is, and really getting crystal clear as to what this year is about for you in that area and what you can do in your home. And also, because I don't leave you hanging and I don't just do one modality in my sessions, what practical things that you can do in your life, whether it's your business, relationship, whatever it is. Okay, so if you'd like to claim that session for this week, right now I'm only doing one a week. So if you'd like to book for this week's session, I'm available for these sessions Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Occasionally evenings, but it depends. Those are by special appointment. DM me, reclaim, and let's get you set up. The other thing that I'm doing is starting in April, the first Wednesday in April, which I think is April 6th. I could be wrong. I have to look that up. I am going to be starting a inner knowing mentorship group program. So I don't even like the word program, but basically this is about helping you identify what your psychic gifts are, aka how your intuition speaks to you, based upon astrology, human design, and also we are going to go through six, I think it is. We're going to go through clairvoyance, claircognizance, clairsentience, clairaudience, mediumship, and then we're gonna do one session on clairalience and clairgustafson. Clairalience is smell, clairgustafson is taste. Okay, so I'm going to give you some guides as to how these things show up, because chances are you probably already doing it. That's just the theme of this year. And I'm gonna do a demo, so each person will get one session with me. One you'll be part of the demo, right? You'll be my client, right? And then I will do a session for you, a little mini session, and then you'll be put into breakout groups so that you can practice on each other. So the goal is not for you to, like, I'm not, how do I put this? The goal is for you, one, to realize how these things show up, because they don't always show up the way that you think they do. 2, to figure out which one is yours. 3, to have a safe space for you to practice. Okay, it's not for you to figure out that you have all of them. Okay, now mind you, I've experienced all of these, with clairvoyance, claircognizance, clairsentience, and clairaudience being my strongest, and mediumship. I've had clairgustafson, I've had clairalience, but you have to understand that I've been doing this since I was like 2.5 years old. It started with prophetic dreams, well, dreams of the past and of the future, and I've been doing this all my life. So this is not for you to start a business. This is not for you to, be doing this professionally. This is for you to, if you know you have intuitive gifts, which we all do, it's for you to have this playground for you to play and be like, oh, I didn't know that. Like earworms, if you don't know what an earworm is when a song gets stuck in your head. That's clairaudience, right? So most of us have had clairaudience. So this is about an exploration to see how it shows up for you. So if you come to clairvoyance and you're just not really good at visualizing things, that's okay. If you try to visualize and you can't visualize, something else might pop up. You might be like, go this way. Your gifts lie elsewhere. It's really, every single person will discover something about themselves. Okay, and we're going to start with astrology, because astrology does have some little indicators, and so does human design. There's certain gates in human design that are markers of certain specific psychic abilities, and we will be looking at that. So this is just a program that just doesn't exist out there. I haven't seen anything like this. And if you're interested, it is 9 weeks. The last week we're going to kind of wrap up and play some more and just have some conversation around what has, transpired. I'm also thinking of doing like a continuing thing where it would be like a weekly, playground where you can come and partner up with people and just practice with each other. So that'll be something ongoing if the participants of this program decide to do that. I am taking on 7 people for this because I'm going to be one of the people that's going to be rotating through. You can partner up with me. That way I can really help you and guide you and ask questions to get you to, tap more deeply into these abilities. It is $397. I have not seen anything that does psychic abilities at this price, but this is where I want the price to be, and there are payment plans if you need that. Trust me, there's no shame in that. There's one time that I wanted to sign up for a program that was $88, and I did a 3-pay because that's where I was financially. So do not be shy. DM me. So this is really about tapping into your psychic abilities, seeing how they show up, having a safe place to practice and play, getting some guidance. You will be given like some side quests. They're not homework, they're side quests. They're more like noticing, right? How it shows up in your day-to-day life, okay? And it's not about mastering all of these things. It's about seeing where your gifts lie. And then, who knows what the next step will be, right? Who knows where this will lead. I'm very open to the next step for that. So if this sounds like something that you would be interested in, if you know that you have psychic abilities, that they show up and you have no control over them, because part of this program is once you are aware of how your psychic gifts show up, you can be a little more deliberate. So if I have a client who comes to me for mediumship, I will close my eyes and I will tune in. If they give me a name or they tell me, I will tune in. Okay? And you know, because I know that my intuition speaks to me through when I do mediumship, because this is where like our psychic gifts are not like, it's kind of like when we experience the world. We're not just seeing. We're hearing, we're smelling, we're tasting, we're feeling the temperature, all the things. We're not just experiencing one sense at a time. So you'll see how all these psychic abilities actually are kind of interconnected, right? So when I do mediumship, I will see your loved ones that have passed away. I will hear them. Sometimes I will smell them. I will just know what they're saying or what they're feeling. That feeling is sentience. Claircognizance is that knowing, right? The inner knowing. So mediumship shows up in all of those. That's why we're doing mediumship last, because mediumship is, it's a different frequency. It's taking all those gifts, and it's kind of like, I don't know why this is coming to me. It's kind of like using your senses in the dark, because kind of that's what you are doing. You're feeling around in the dark to see what you feel, what you sense. Okay. And this, there's no pressure in this. This isn't, you're not going to be graded. There's not like, if you only have one, that's great. The more you know about yourself and the more you see how your intuitive gifts show up, the more you can cultivate that. Okay. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, DM me and let me know. And I'm going to pull some cards on that note. So if you like cards, you might actually be a clairvoyant, because the images. So clairvoyant isn't just having like dreams of the past or future, or like actually seeing visions. It's also anything in the visual realm, anything to do with your eyes, except the physical component. That would be more of the clairsentience, right? Like if your eye twitches and things like that. Okay. All right. So what do we need to know this week? The week of March 24th through March 30th. Okay. So we are using my favorite Oracle deck today, and there is a pick a card reading out there on my Facebook page. So if you prefer to do it that way, you know, pick one card, and like later on today around, I don't know, later on today, I'm not sure what time, because I've got groceries coming, so it's gonna happen after groceries. My window is between 4 and 6, so I'm thinking around 5 o'clock I'll reveal those cards. So the deck I'm using is the Oracle of the Seven Energies by Colette Baron Reed. I love this deck. So our first card is Quiet the Mind. I just love it when I pull cards and I'm like, I already said this. So quieting the mind, getting still. I will actually sit cross-legged, and I will close my eyes and I will just listen. I will just listen. Okay. Meditation doesn't need to be anything more than that. You can focus on something outside the window with your eyes open. You can focus on a sound. You can focus on your breath. You can do a guided meditation on like YouTube or whatever. I actually have a whole bunch of meditations if anybody's interested. They're like, I don't know, $7 or $8. I have a whole bunch that, you know, are geared towards all sorts of stuff. And actually, this morning when I was doing my own stillness, I was guided to create a bunch of meditations for the Inner Knowing mentorship program. So these are good. You're going to actually get a whole series of guided meditations that will help you tune in, you know, little guided meditations so that you can play with clairvoyance, clairaudience, etc., etc. And those might become available later on as separate part of the program. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just talking out loud here. Okay. So quieting the mind. So actually doodling, doing the Zentangles, doing the neurographic art is a really great way to quiet your mind because you're just focusing. Where is the line going to go? There's a neurographic art where you use a button and you put your marker in one of the holes of the button so you can't see where the line's going. And this is for you to get out of your normal patterns because we all have normal patterns that we go down. I highly recommend that. The next card is Seeing Beyond. So I thought, again, that's really interesting. I was talking about the Inner Knowing Mentorship Program, and here we have the Seeing Beyond. So even though we're in Aries season, every sign has its own psychic abilities. Pisces is, obviously it's the land of the dreams and the unseen, but Aries is a fire sign. So for Aries, one of the ways that your intuition could show up is actually taking action, going into like autopilot. And that happens. We all have this. Again, just because you're an Aries or a Pisces or whatever does not mean that you don't have all these abilities. It's kind of like senses. We all have the same 5 senses. Granted, some people are born deaf or blind and things like that, but the majority of the population has these senses, and we also have the corresponding psychic abilities. It's just tuning into that frequency. It's just noticing it. Okay? Like all day long, there are so many things that are in our field of view, but our brain filters it because there's so much information coming in. So part of working with your intuitive abilities, whether you do the Inner Knowing Mentorship Program or not, is to start tuning that in. So I read a great book out there called Sidewalk Oracles by Robert Moss, and I started playing with clairaudience because I was like, I've experienced this, 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 and I'm like, holy fuck, I am clairaudient, right? And I started to notice. Started to notice sounds. I started to notice how like there have been so many times where like I've asked a question or wondered something in my mind, and then I'll be in the grocery line and the people behind me are having a conversation and answering my question. That's clairaudience. So you're already doing it. Okay? This year with the fire horse is about our psychic abilities as well. Increased visibility is not just fame and fortune, fame and reputation as it is in the feng shui. It's also us seeing beyond the bullshit that we're being told and shown, seeing beyond. And it's not just clairvoyance, just like seeing as in like intuiting, but beyond the physical world. Okay. Like I know for me, there's many times that I have met people and I'm like, there's just something that doesn't feel right about this person. And every time it has come to pass. They have shown their true colors. And mostly they're the really charismatic people that everybody's like, oh my God, it's so amazing. She's so amazing. And I'm like, right? To the point where I've been told, oh, you're jealous or you're whatever. And I'm like, okay, whatever. That's your perception. But then at the end of the day, they reveal their true colors. So this is really important with our psychic abilities. Our psychic abilities are not just to make money or to whatever, but to use for our own life, to avoid people that are not who they say they are, to avoid situations that are not beneficial to us, even if they're being presented as like the best thing since sliced bread, right? To know when, like the title of this, when we're bored and we just are trying, we're so used to drama and so used to like chaos that our nervous system is like, this doesn't feel safe because it's peaceful and because it's calm. And knowing to tune into our intuition and be like, do I really need to change course? Do I really need to do something different? Or do I just need to stay the course and trust and allow my nervous system to recalibrate? And your nervous system will recalibrate and recalibrate. It's recalc. It's like shit will go well, you'll heal something, and then all of a sudden there's that panic, that other shoe to drop. It's not a one and done thing. Healing is not a one and done thing. Therapy is not a one and done thing. Working with your intuition is not a one and done thing. Okay? Even when you're born, like, well, we're all born with psychic abilities. Even when your psychic abilities are apparent really young and you've had them throughout your life, there's always other levels. I know last year I did a human design reading for someone, and I actually channeled, I didn't even want to channel, say call, I actually saw one of her past lives. We were talking about the North Node and the South Node, and all of a sudden I saw one of her past lives, and that had never happened to me. But I'm not surprised because I mix modalities all the time, right? I had another human design reading that I channeled someone's person that had passed. I went into a mediumship, and it wasn't about what their human design chart was. Okay, that person that had passed had wanted so desperately to get into contact with my client, and this, I turned the light on, lighthouse is on, psychic light is on, and so they came through. And this person was so grateful to receive that, even though they didn't get what they had come for. Okay, sometimes we get what we need, not what we want. Okay, so yeah. All right, and then the last card for this week is Endless Possibilities, which is really interesting because, well, I'm not gonna, it's really interesting because it's reversed. Okay, and I feel like the reason it's reversed, and I don't always read oracle cards reversed, but sometimes I just leave them the way that they are. This card is telling me, it's like, stop. If you are focusing on one reality, one outcome, don't be attached to the outcome. If you are literally playing Russian roulette every day, like today you want this and tomorrow you want something else, you need to focus on one thing. You need to get a little more attached to the outcome. So it's kind of like a dual message. So if you're a person who keeps changing their mind every day, you need to kind of like stick with something for 7 days, I'm getting. If you have been stuck on something and saying, this is the way that I want my money to come in, this is the way that I want this relationship to play out, whatever it is, you need to open yourself up to some possibilities. Okay? So it depends upon where you are and what is going on in your life. Okay? If you're the person who is stuck on one reality, one outcome, here's a exercise that I give my clients. This is inspired by Mike Dooley. I think this is his, like, completely, but like every day you wake up and for 5 minutes you write a different version of reality. Okay? So let's say it's money that you're stuck on and you're insisting that it comes through one channel. So maybe today you write about winning the lottery. Tomorrow you might talk about an inheritance. The day after that, your business blows up. The day after that, you meet an investor and they invest a lot of money. I don't know. 5 minutes. Just write. Okay? And then you crumble it up and throw it away. Or I like to burn shit. Burn it. Get rid of it. Okay? If you're the person who is constantly shuffling and every day it's like pretty shiny kid in the candy store, I would do the opposite. I would write the same reality over and over again. Just pick one. Doesn't matter which one you pick. Don't get attached to it, but pick one. What is the thing that you really want to create in that area of your life? And maybe not the how, focus on the outcome. What does it look like? Okay? So I know one thing that I've been really focusing on is my self-care. So for me, that might be like, my having a pedicure, like having my toes done. I used to love that all the time. Haven't done it in years. So that's an outcome. I'm not talking about going to the nail salon. I'm not talking about doing it at home. I'm just saying it's done. So it might look like something like, I just love watching my sparkly toenail polish shine in the sunlight when I get out of bed. That's just one line, right? Okay. I love putting clothes on and having them fit really well. Okay. I might say something like, I love my new wardrobe. Or, I don't know. Okay. I love how in my yoga practice, I just keep getting deeper and deeper into a meditative flow state, and I'm getting deeper into these poses, right? So, those sort of things. Okay? So, this message depends upon where you're at and which you need to flop to the other side for a little bit. For a little bit to open yourself up. Okay? And yes, writing the same reality over and over again will open yourself up. Okay, you'd be surprised. And I'm just going to talk about that for a second because I just feel like it's really important. Sometimes we want something for a specific reason, and we think that it needs to come a certain way because, well, let's just be honest, trauma, right? Like you had something that happened in your life and you're like, well, I don't want to have that. You're rebelling. And sometimes it's valid, totally fucking valid. Would never do that to my kids, would never stay in a toxic relationship, would never, etc., right? And then sometimes it's like we want to do what our parents did because we like that. Okay? So we go down that road. And neither one is bad or wrong. It's just about finding who we are. Okay? You don't want to be a mashup of never doing all the shit that your parents did that you hated and then doing all these things that they didn't do. You want to find that, I don't want to even call it the middle ground, but your unique combination of being. Without it being full of shoulds, nevers, always, have-tos, whatever, musts, right? You want to find this place where you are naturally being yourself. Okay? So that's just my little play there. So this week, find ways to quiet the mind, whether it's coloring, doodling, knitting, some sort of non-financially productive hobby. And it could just be meditation. It could be just listening to some, guided meditation on YouTube or a piece of classical music or something like that. What are you not seeing? Opening yourself up to your psychic abilities. Okay, what's beyond that? The other thing I'm getting with this is like one of the things that they talk about in like law of attraction and manifestation is like not focusing on the wish fulfilled, but what happens after that. So you win the lottery and you get the big giant check, and so you either focus on the check instead of focusing on the check or the ticket, you focus on what you do with the money. Okay. And if you're going to combine that with the writing exercise I gave you, it would kind of look like now that I won the lottery, I can pay off this debt. Now that I won the lottery, I can buy my dream home. And go into specifics, okay? Go into specifics here. Whether you are a specific or non-specific manifestor in human design, it doesn't matter if you know that or not, right? Go into the specifics. You're a non-specific manifestor if you get excited about the feeling. It's all about the feeling for you. Like, it doesn't matter what it is, you get excited about the feeling. You're a specific manifestor if you get excited by the details. I'm a specific manifestor. I get excited about the details. When we start talking about that purple custom-made Lamborghini with the iridescent paint and the blah, 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 I get excited about the details. The feeling comes from the details. Other people, the feeling comes first and then the details come. Doesn't matter which one. Okay? So if you are a feelings person, you want to tap into what you want to feel. You want to feel excited. You want to feel loved. You want to feel accomplished. You want to feel successful. You want to feel worshipped. I don't know. And then write the reality from that place. Now that I am accomplished, now that I am excited, now that my life is peaceful, now that I, whatever the feeling is, and I know some of those are not feelings, they're actually states or accomplishments, whatever. We blur the line, don't worry about that. Now that I feel successful, tell the story. What does that look like? Okay? All right. I hope this has been helpful for you. If you're interested in the Reclaim and Reset Feng Shui session, message me. Like I said, I only have one of those spots available each week. And if you're interested in the Inner Knowing Mentorship group, message me about that. We are starting the first Wednesday of April. And that is going to be a small group because I want to make sure that like people have personal guidance from me. Okay, because when you're talking about your psychic abilities, it's not a one size fits all. Clairvoyance doesn't show up the same way for everybody, or clairaudience, or mediumship, or whatever it is. It doesn't, and I want to help you tap into the nuance. This is not some generic course where I'm going to be like, this is what happens if you don't experience this, you don't have it. It's not like that. You might have all of them. You probably do to a certain extent. Like I said, I've had clair aliens and clair gulf system a couple times in my life, so that's smell and taste. It's not my predominant. It doesn't show up all the time, but it is something that I have experienced. Those are on the rarer scale, but I wonder if they're rarer because people don't even realize they're doing it. Okay, so, all right, I hope you guys have a great day. Also, if you'd like a tarot reading, I am available today, tomorrow, and Thursday. Just message me. It is $50 for 20 minutes. You can definitely get a longer session. So if you want a half an hour, that's $75. If you want an hour, it's $150. 20 is the minimum, okay? And even 20 sometimes doesn't feel like enough time. I have so much to share with you when we get in on a session, okay? And that's for tarot or mediumship. Feng Shui, life coaching, business consulting, those are different. If you're interested in those, message me and we can talk about what that looks like. All right, I hope you guys have a great day. Don't burn down. Don't rip out your stitches. Do not destroy what you've created. Quiet your mind. Go distract yourself. And then what is the one tiny little tweak you can make to make it all work? Okay, because that's all you need. A 1% shift can go a long way. You don't need to burn down everything you've created just because you're bored and it feels like things are not growing yet. They will. Give it time. Okay? All right. You guys have a great day, and I'll catch you next time. Take care.